Josh is upstairs teaching the team right now, and then we're going to dust off the cobwebs and do some firearm shootings.
Here we go.
Keep running into you.
You know, it's weird.
Can't get rid of it.
All right, I know, man. How are you doing?
Josh, I'm Jeff.
Jeff, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Josh.
meet you. Thanks a lot for doing
Yeah,
this.
of course,
Appreciate
anytime. What's up, brother?
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Good, man. Good
Good,
to see you.
good to see you. Sorry, that was kind of a dead fish handshake. It's just, yeah, there we go. There it is.
That's better.
You know? Josh Bridges, former Navy SEAL. I was in from 2007 to 2015. I did 3 deployments, 2 to Iraq, 1 to Afghanistan. I was in Al-Assad, Fallujah, and Faryab province up by Mazar-i Sharif in Afghanistan. And that was in 08, 10, and 12. So not the highest times. If anybody else was over there, I don't know anybody's background here. I'm sure some guys probably were. CrossFit athlete, 6-time athlete, games athlete, took 2nd, 4th, 7th, 11th, 30th, 31st. I like to work out. Wanted to come up, you know, basically open up my brain to you guys. Anything that you guys want to talk about, anything you guys have questions about. I don't want to sit up here and preach about shit that you guys don't want to hear about. So I'd rather have you guys ask me questions and then I can answer them and we can go from there.
Did you have a specialty in your team?
I was a breacher. Yeah, I was the lead breacher of my troop, my 2nd platoon. My 1st platoon as a new guy, I had gone to breacher school already, but I was more just I was just an A-dub gunner. So I carried a Mark 48. My gun was as tall as I was, weighed 28 pounds. I had to carry 500 pounds of ammunition, which each 100 rounds of ammunition weighed 7 pounds. So yeah, and we'd be doing land warfare. They'd be like, fucking rally up, and you know, you'd made contact and you broke contact, and every guy had to carry 100 rounds for me. And so you'd get to that rally point, you'd be getting hit in the face with 100 rounds, fucking, oh, here, take my rounds. Like, fuck you, take them back. But yeah, it was, the 1st platoon, A-dub gunner, and 2nd platoon, I was a breacher.
What kind of standards, I guess, were you held to?
For me, it was more so about the guy standing next to me, right? Would I ever fucking want to let them down? I'm not a big man, as you can see, right? I'm 5'5", maybe 170. And I was working with, who's fucking over 6 foot here? Yeah, who weighs over fucking 200 pounds? If you looked at me, would you be like, that motherfucker better be able to carry my ass out if I go down, right? And so that was my huge focus, right? Can I pick up a 200-pound, 6-foot man off the ground and put him on my back? And so I remember the biggest guy in our class was one of my best buddies. He was fucking 6'3", like 240. And I made him lay down and fucking, you know, be a limp dick and fucking pull him off the ground and pick him up on my shoulders and run with him. And so I held myself to that standard. Does every guy? Fuck no. And I mean, we all know that, right? Like not every person is going to hold themselves to the same standards, but for me, it was something very important. I never wanted to let the guy down next to me. And I think that every person in a team scenario like that should be your only thought.
Did you see anything that seemed to be a commonality with guys who were successful?
I think there was no commonality. It was fucking wild. Like you would look at dudes, you'd be like, yeah, that guy's gonna make it. Day 2, gone, not there anymore. Be like, that guy's never gonna fucking make it. He became one of my best friends, you know, kind of thing. Like it was wild. Like there was no commonality. There was no stereotypical Navy SEAL. I'm 5'5", 170. You know, there's dudes that are 6'2", 6'3", 240. There's guys, you know, there's every different size person in the Navy as a SEAL. It was crazy to me. And a lot of guys weren't athletes, which I thought was kind of weird because all I did was grow up and play sports. Some dudes were just really into guns and shooting, and you know they figured out how to run and swim. And then other guys were freaks, and then I don't know. Everyone had their thing, you know, that was hard for them in buds or training, and then everyone had the thing that they were really good at, you know. And so what I figured out was that the thing that I saw mostly break down in guys was their legs. Because during buds and SQT, you're never off your feet, ever. You're carrying boats and you're carrying logs for the first 2 months of it. And and dude's late, and then you're constantly running on soft sand, you're constantly running in boots, pants, and dude's legs break down. And when your legs fucking start to break down, your mind breaks down. And so like, I fucking had really strong legs, and anybody that I have a program that I help guys who want to go, and it has a huge emphasis on their legs. And you'll get the old school mentality of people being like, no, you just got to concentrate on running, push-ups, and pull-ups. And you're like, yeah, maybe you could get through if you did that. But then why the fuck is everyone's legs breaking down on them?
Did you find in that process that you had a weakness?
The cold water was my weakness. And I'd find the biggest dudes and I'd be like, hey, hold me close while we lay in this cold water. Hey, right? Exactly. And so, I mean, everyone has it though. Everyone has something in Buzz or SQT, right? That's their Achilles heel. And some dudes fucking loved the cold water. They laid in it and it was like taking an ice bath for them. For me, I was like, fuck this. I don't have any body fat. I need a fucking big warm dude to hold me close. And guys will get overwhelmed and think, fuck, I got 6 more months of this shit being treated like a turd, And so, just knowing that will come to an end. One of my favorite quotes was, we had these master chiefs. We had these guys come in and mentor us and tell us, they gave us these ways to kind of try to handle the shit that was going to get thrown at us. He's like, the 2 things these instructors can't do. They can't make you quit and they can't stop time. So no matter how bad it sucks, no matter whatever the fuck you're going through, it's going to come to an end. And whether you're there or not is your decision.
When you had been on the teams for a while and new people were coming in, like what kind of, I guess, initiation or how did you integrate those people into like your family, right? I mean, because I'm guessing that you guys were pretty tight knit.
Yeah.
Like as a group, like how'd you integrate them in and how'd you keep that like kind of?
Let me give you ideas how to haze these guys. When we got older, when we were doing that stuff, it's like, okay, now you're here, now you're part of us. Now we can trust you, kind of thing, So, and to be honest, man, the thing all I cared about was how they were as an operator. Like I didn't give a fuck, like. If they're the same as me, if they like the same stuff, as long as they were proficient at what they did and I didn't have to worry about them, that was all I cared about. And, and sometimes you're gonna get guys who aren't that good, and you have to fucking let them know, hey, this isn't okay. There's a standard to be here, and I think that's the most important thing, right? As long as those guys understand what the standard is, and they're told what the standard is or shown what the standard is, then I think that's the best way to like initiate guys, right? Hey, hold your fucking standard. Here it is. If you drop below it, you're gonna pay the man, as some might say.
Is that where that came from?
Yeah, to an extent. Like that was how I learned it. I started saying it in CrossFit and people just loved it. It became like, hey, you're gonna fucking pay the man if you fuck up, right? And the man was always the instructors or older guys. And it became like, hey, I don't know my fitness. I don't know my fucking health. I don't own my skills as my job. And so now to keep it, I have to fucking pay the man every day, right? And so that's where my little pay the man slogan came from. And so, you rent that shit. You rent your health. You rent your tactics. You rent your skills. You have to hold your own standard and pay your rent and make sure that you are the most proficient and everyone understands what you're doing and what you're capable of.
As far as team leadership, what were some of maybe the biggest mistakes in your experience?
What is your title, Jeff?
Sergeant.
Sergeant. So if your sergeant is sitting there and you're in front of everyone and you fuck up and he starts pointing you out right in front of everyone, what does that make you feel like? A piece of shit. And to an extent, there can be some times where that can be good, but I felt like the best sergeants, chiefs would pull those guys aside and they'd have those talks with them. Hey man, like I was just saying, you have a standard and you're not meeting it right now. You need to fucking fix yourself. And what do I need to do to help you to get there? That was the kind of leadership that I really appreciated. I think any good leader is going to hold themselves accountable as much as every single person in that team.
Did you guys know who Josh was coming in before today?
Yeah. I didn't realize how short he was.
Gonna find out though.
Still kick your ass. Oh, I guarantee it. I'm not challenging him to anything, I promise you that.
There's a little shop like right behind here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll run simunitions in there.
So we have kill houses that you could go live in.
Actually, we can walk through it. It's kind of cool. We don't do any live fire. I wish we did. But,
Yeah.
It does have like video cameras and stuff set up so you can kind of see.
Is this it right here?
Yeah, this one.
If we wanted to do even some walkthroughs, like I could show you like the tactics we used.
Yeah, okay. Bags out, dry guns, let's safety check each other, and we're gonna roll up into the shoot house and work through some like room clearing CQB stuff. See the difference,
We had
right?
this,
There's,
yeah. We had this one big fucking Italian guy, and he's like, "Do not do this shit on the street. You will get your ass kicked."
What are we doing here today?
Well, we're doing a lot of stuff. We're getting educated on how the military differs from law enforcement as far as tactics. There's a lot of overlap, but a lot of differences too. So Josh is upstairs teaching the team right now, and then we're going to dust off the cobwebs and do some firearm shooting. So some moving, shooting, forward, backwards, lateral, multiple targets. Probably some magazine changes, just something like more dynamic where we're moving, having to think on the fly, manipulate weapons with other people around in close proximity and that kind of stuff. So we're really fortunate that our department is very generous with giving us a lot of training time compared to other agencies. And this is something that we started a few years ago, and it's partly as a way to kind of build team camaraderie and just have a solid week dedicated to training. You know, a lot of times we'll train for one day and then we'll go for weeks without coming back together and training again. And so maybe some things gets forgotten or lost in the shuffle. This is a way that like our entire team for 40 hours straight can come together and not only kind of, you know, rebuild the relationships and stuff, but also really like dive deep into some training that we might not otherwise get. So it's a great opportunity that our agency lets us have, which is pretty great. And we get the opportunity to bring in people like Josh, like guest speakers, guest presenters, you know, guest instructors to give us perspectives that we probably haven't, you know, ever seen before, which is really cool.
What's the drill?
Let's get the trigger finger warmed up with a little bit of like static shooting from like
Okay.
the 7-yard line, maybe some burst work,
Gotcha.
some target transitions, and then we'll move into like a box drill where we got to kind of serpentine our way around, doing some forward, reverse, lateral, like
I
multiple
like
target
it.
stuff.
I like it.
So get the juices flowing a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and when you guys are ready, let's go jump up to like the 7-yard line. Single short burst to the body, single shot into the head. Good. Same swing, grab here, come back, and your weapon light. Usually run like 2 at a time.
Okay.
So we'll start in the middle, like. Closer, she's ready. Boom.
Woo!
How
Been a
long
while.
has it been?
It's been a while.
Has it?
Yeah. You guys are doing missions that are, you know, you're going in and there might be someone on the opposite end with a gun, you know, pointed at you. You know, calm produces calm, right? And chaos produces chaos. And one of the best things that, you know, I ever heard was 99% of your job is going to be fucking really calm. And 1% of it is going to be chaos. And it's how you handle that 1% that's going to help you get through it and move as efficient as possible, And so, just understanding that it's going to kick off at some point, having that mindset, right? Always being ready for that shit. And that's trusting your training, and I think being in the best shape that you can be, being ready, being capable, and never letting your brothers down next to you.
So, hey, Josh, thanks a lot for coming out.
I really
We
appreciate
appreciate you very much.
Thank you guys.
We got a couple
thank you.
challenge points for you. Commander
Love
has
it.
got one
Thank
for
you,
you.
Josh.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys letting me come up here and just talk and, asking questions and let me shoot and anything like that. So I'd be happy to come up anytime you guys ever want. Thank y'all. I
Appreciate it.
appreciate what you guys do.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
man.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, appreciate you boys. Appreciate you fellas. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate you fellas. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all.
Yeah,
good luck with everything.
Don't give a wet
Hey! It's my strong hand. Great meeting y'all.
I know it's a long drive, so thank you, man.
Yeah. Rock and roll. Little shooting. That was fun.
Yeah, you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was a great time. I mean, it was cool to be asked to come up here and talk to these guys. These guys are out there, doing cool shit. So it's cool to come up, tell them something about my experiences, and then, do some shooting drills with them. It was really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was really cool. Like, subscribe, do the thing, and as always, don't forget to pay the man.